we're going to talk about not wasting our youth, the youth of our retirement, the youth of our fourth quarter, and using the who, what, where, when, why, and how as a mechanism to make sure we're taking care of the things so we don't waste that youth time period, those 50s and 60s, where we can make adjustments, do the harder things physically, and enjoy and have a higher quality of life. So first, who? Who are we taking with us on this journey? We may have a partner in life. We may have children that we're taking along on this journey, but also we very well may have friends that we want to take along on this journey and that we want to consider as we move through all of the decision making of what we want to do in this fourth quarter. So who do we want to take with us on this journey? We have to really think about that and even write it down. I know it goes without saying, we're going to take our partner on our journey with us. We're going to take the kids on our journey with us. But are we going to spend how much time with the kids? Our partner, how much time can we spend in one house with the partner? I can tell you that my husband retired 8 years ahead of me. And it's been a journey just for him to understand how to keep busy and live and have expectations with me, who I am not retired, and how we can move forward with the double zone of one retired, one not retired. But also our kids and our friends. I personally have a great group of friends that we have cocktails with. And if I'm not in town, I really, really miss that. And we do split our lives in 2 different areas with a vacation home. And I really miss them when I'm gone. But I really like our vacation area. So it's something to think about. Who are you spending your retirement with? And who do you need to network and develop with to expand upon that, right? Also, don't forget your utilitarian who, your banker, your financial advisor, your retirement plan advisor. Maybe that you have one of those through work. Who are the people in your neighborhood, so to speak, that you need to work with as you move towards that retirement and fourth quarter time? Who, what? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to travel? Oh, people say that, but do you want to climb hills, climb mountains? Do you want to sail in sailboats? Do you want to ski? Do you want to kayak? I know that on a trip I went on recently, I was expected to kayak out to an island. And I did tandem kayak to do that because it was ocean kayaking. I was a little afraid that I wouldn't make it out there. I was fine. I did it just fine. And so if I were offered that again, I would know I could probably do that on my own. But I wasn't sure about that, so I tandem kayaked out to the island. So that's a consideration. What are you wanting to do? Do you have a 5K or 10K race or a marathon in your life that you want to participate in? Probably not a 10-year from now plan, probably a more current time frame plan. Or maybe you need to prep for that on the spectrum of your time. Maybe it is in 10 years, but you train for 10 years. I don't know. But what do you want to do? Okay. Who, what, where? Where do you want to be? A lot of people have children who live other places. I have friends who have children in Northern California and in Southern California, and they were from the middle of the U.S. They ended up moving to above Northern California, not next door to those children, and a really long way from the Southern California kids. But they knew that they would take flights down to Southern California during certain times of the year. They really loved where they, above the Northern California area. They chose that very strategically. So where do you want to be? Do you want to be in a villa home, an apartment complex, a big home? Do you want to stay where you are? Do you want to stay where you are, but deal with the possibility of steps and preparing that you would not have a bedroom on the second floor? Some people do a little remodeling so they can have their bedroom on their first floor. So where do you want to be? Now is the time to prep for that. Now is the time to save for that. Suppose you have a very modest home in a rural area and you want to be in an urban area near the children that's going to cost quite a bit of money. Now is the time for plan for that. You may even say you may have a really big home and you sell your bigger home and buy a little tiny townhome with the proceeds, the equity that you have. And you might do that early where your market is. You might discuss that with your asset manager, your banker, a realtor friend. You might say, okay, I have X amount and I feel that the market is going to stick. It's a pretty good market right now, that I should go ahead and sell my house and invest it into a townhome where I want to be. And I'll keep working and do a very small, tiny apartment where I am. Please like and subscribe to the video and the channel. Thank you. So we have who, what, where, when. When are you going to do it? We talked a little bit about when, right? You could actually sell your home and still keep working. If you sold it right now, you could do a when at any time. When is the things you want to do, when are they the optimum to do them? We're talking right now about our youth of our fourth quarter, our youth of our retirement, and how we don't want to waste that. We are perhaps going through something right now that we wouldn't be going through then. Perhaps we are going through a health issue right now that we don't foresee we'll have then. So we'll want to take care of that right now. But when would be a really good time to make all of the moves that we're thinking we might be doing as we move into our fourth quarter? So planning the actual timeline. So who, what, where, when, why. What's our why? Sometimes that's the hardest. Why? Well, why is because I'm getting older and I have to make these decisions. Well, sure. But sometimes we have whys that are different from that. And I think many times we have those, we just don't think about them too much. Sometimes we have whys of our lives have meaning and we want to give back. I know folks who go on travel trips specifically planned around work they want to do. Sometimes that's, for instance, a Habitat Humanity build. So they will travel to somewhere that they're building a home and they will stay there for a week or two and help them build a home. And so that's their why. Sometimes whys are our grandchildren. Our grandchildren go through different phases in their lives, the babies and the infants, and they need us the most, and the toddlers, and then the preteens, and they really want to be around us, and then the teen years, and they love visiting us, maybe not a lot. And then they go to college, and that becomes even more so. So our why is very strong, perhaps, around our grandchildren, but their lives take us away from us, take the time away from us. And so we have to think about that why. So moving to be with grandchildren that are going to go away to college in 5 years might be a why we have to think about a little bit more. What is our why? Why are we doing the things that we want to do? So we've covered who, what, where, when, why, and then the how. The how is really the biggest one, isn't it? How, money, always takes money. Well, sometimes it doesn't take a lot of money. Sometimes it just takes planning. We can say, how do we go about making sure that our trips that we're taking right now are the ones that suit us the best physically right now? You don't want to get, say, like we was talking about the kayaking, 10, 20 years down the line and say, I sure wish that I had taken that trip to Mexico to hike out and climb that hill. But now it's too late. If you had wanted to do that, a good time to do that would have been when you could physically do that activity. That's an obvious thing, right? But if we're not thinking about it, if we plan the trip where we're just sitting on a cruise, and we want to do this specific cruise, say, and we also want to climb the pyramids in Mexico. That's a good thing, see. Maybe we do the pyramids in Mexico first. How we plan our trips is important. We were going to take the trips anyway. How can be about finances. So how do we plan and save, build wealth so we can afford? How do we do that? It can be around how do we create a really safe, secure, strong relationship with our children now so they feel comfortable having us very close in 10, 20 years. Some family relationships are not that strong. You have to think about the how. It may take some work to build a relationship strong enough that your children want you, say, living next door in 20 years. If that's your want, if that's where you want to be and your why you want to exist, then the how might mean building a relationship so it's stronger. A how might also be health and wellness. My husband and I have an agreement, since he's 8 years older than me, that we will both do everything we can to stay healthy, which is hard to do, hard to eat right, hard to get the exercise in for both of us, so that we both stay healthy, so we can both experience a higher quality of life as we go into the fourth quarter together. I don't want to be a young widow. He doesn't want me to suddenly become ill either. So I'm the one with the family history of passing away very, very young. His family lives to be in their 90s. So we both have a commitment to staying healthy as long as we can and as strong as long as we can. So that might be a how. So going over your who, what, where, when, why, and hows, so we're not wasting the youth of our fourth quarter. Have a great day.